Let's get busy.
I'm here with Dymon Rondo.
Yeah.
That name resonates in this town.
A little bit. I say a little bit.
A little. Come on.
You got to be humble. I like.
Well,
to be
no.
humble.
All right. I'll toot your horn. You don't. You can use the name Rondo does resonate. Going back to the Tubby Smith days, to where Tubby misused her brother. Just saying. I'm a Kentucky fan.
Yeah.
And when we got Rondo or Rajon, help me. Let's go back, and I know this is your podcast, but we got to talk brother a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'm a Kentucky fan. Is it true that he wanted to play for Rick Pitino?
That is true,
and it was the Sebastian Telfair thing,
yes. Right? And that he was he was upset by that because he's like, wow, who are you choosing this guy? And I think with
Telfair had not. That was the whole thing about he hadn't
fully committed.
Exactly, because of the pro thing. He was going to jump.
And
right.
He went, which Pitino should have known. Yeah. And so Rajon's like, okay, well, I'm over here. I'm going to go over here.
So Tubby in Kentucky was his second choice.
Pretty much, yeah. He definitely probably would have went to Louisville if it wasn't for that.
As a Kentucky fan, if Rajon Rondo played under Calipari, that would have been a game changer. It would have been totally different than Tubby.
Really?
Oh, Cal would have given him the keys to the court. Where Tubby was very
controlling. You could say. I mean,
conservative with his approach.
Yeah, he wanted you to run the play, and that's not how my brother operates. If he sees something at any minute, it's a change of thought, and he envisions it, and that's why he's become such great and an assist and vision on the court. Period.
He is. He's had a great pro career. He really has. He's got how many rings? One.
But he's broken plenty of assist records.
Yeah. I mean, he is the quintessential point guard. Great. He's had a great career. He's probably done pretty well monetarily as well.
Yeah. So. And I would just wanted to mention too. He's the only. I would say, I'm not even going to say old school, but he's one of the unique point guards that you notice that don't worry about how many points he's got.
No.
He wants to get the team involved, and that's why people love to play with him. He wants to get his team involved. He likes to see them get buckets. He thinks about himself last, and I think that's what's made him go as far as he's been today, because a lot of his friends he came in the league with, they're
coming on.
Yeah.
What year is this for him?
13.
Wow, has it been good? God. 13 years already. That's great because he's getting a nice check. Still
to do what he loves.
And he's right now. He's part of the Lakers with LeBron, with Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, who are two of my all-time favorite Kentucky. I don't know. Were you a Kentucky fan?
Of course.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Or still, do you follow them or not so much?
I do momentarily, not so much. I try to keep up with the men's and women's basketball team, but.
Does Rajon? What's his take on Cal? Do they have a relationship? Do you know? Or?
I don't know if it's anything like personal. I mean, if he was to call him and say, hey, I want to come to a game, I'm sure they'd be fine. But they don't talk.
Does Rajon visit UK for any camps or anything?
No. Okay. Last year he went to the Big Three, which was in Lexington. He'll make trips like that. Or I know at one point they had it to where they did like an all-star team alumni where him and DeMarcus Cousins I know played. But I don't know if they still have things like that. But yeah, he'll definitely come back.
Because there was a stretch too when Rajon played for the Pelicans too, right?
Okay, let me just correct you. Rajon.
I know, my bad. You're right.
I kept hearing it. I'm like, okay, I got to say
no,
something.
You do.
Yeah.
Call me out.
Yeah, okay. Now you know Rajon. Yeah.
Rajon.
I didn't mean to throw you off your question.
No.
What were you saying?
He played with the Pelicans.
Yes.
Yeah. For 1 year.
1 year.
1 year, yeah.
He had
with
a great
Dave,
time. And what was his name? other point guard.
Drew.
Yes. Yes.
Drew Holiday.
Yes,
Yeah.
they had a really good relationship. Him, Drew, Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins. You know, he always has a good chemistry.
And Derek Miller, former UK player, is there too. I don't remember Derek.
Wait, he was there the year.
Darius Miller. Yeah,
He was there the year. Okay.
He's still there. He just signed on another extension, or he's like 2 more years. Rajon.
To forget the A silent.
Raw. It's kind of like 2 A's. Raw.
Okay, I never thought of it like that, but because I'm just used to saying Rajon. But
How do you say your name?
how do I say my name? Dymon.
Just making sure,
Yeah.
because I don't want to get called out anymore.
There's no D at the end. Some people say Diamond.
I know. No, there's not. It's just
Dymon, and I spell it differently too. And people say, "Oh, that's unique."
I like how you do that.
My mother, she loves jewelry.
What's the history with you? Because you're not from Louisville, right?
No, actually, I'm born and raised here. So,
Okay.
Yes, and I went to. Okay, I started off playing basketball. I think in middle school, I went to Mazik Middle, and then from there I went to Eastern High School, and then I went on to play at a junior college, Vincennes University, for 2 years. After that,
outside of Lex.
yeah, it's Vincent, Indiana.
Indiana.
Right, two and a half hours, right past Evansville.
Evansville, right. You're right.
About 2.5 hour drive. I loved it down there. That's when I grew to know that I did not want to continue to play basketball. So I started.
Why?
I didn't love it anymore, and I didn't want to feel like I was on a scholarship there. And
Were you a baller?
I was. Everywhere I went. I mean, people will tell you I started. I don't mean to, I played.
No.
I played AAU.
It's not bragging if it's true.
Okay. I wasn't in middle school. I gradually 6th grade. I learned how to dribble real good, and then by then I was a scorer. I noticed I became a scorer. So 7th and 8th, I was pretty much the best player, and then in 9th grade I started varsity. And
Rajon is older than you.
1 year older than me.
Okay, 1 year. Okay.
Yeah, and then he went
Really?
his senior year. Yeah, his senior year he went to Oak Hill.
Right.
So
Which Oak Hill, for people who don't know, it's a prep school in
Yes.
Virginia
yes,
that gets like the
hills.
who's who.
yeah, in the hill, like no
there's
man's
nothing
land,
happening there
but
except
basketball.
for Oak Hill.
Exactly.
Because that year he played with Oak Hill. I mean, we can Google this, but it's like
Josh Smith was on the team.
it's like the other 4 starters on that team were all D1 players, and that's how that's the level of like Oak Hill, and there's all these prep schools that just.
And of course, he went there for the exposure to for college coaches, and his number went up from
You know, it's funny that year at Oak Hill, I remember going to the Louisville Gardens and watching Oak Hill come in to play. I want to say Ballard.
Yes, it was Ballard. I remember.
It was Ballard, and it got a little chippy. Because
it was a good game.
Yeah.
You expect that. You expect
because
that.
it's competition. It's fun. It's elite, and I want to say, remember Ron Mercer?
What team?
He went to Oak Hill, but he wound up going to Kentucky. This was because what was the years Rajon was there? Remember that?
Oh,
that was
4, 5.
Yeah,
Wait, he went to Kentucky.
2000. Was it 2 or 4? Anyway. No, this was like Ron Mercer was okay. I just know he was Oak Hill Academy, but he played at Kentucky like 1 season for Pitino. No, 2 seasons for Pitino. He played in the 96 and the 97.
Oh.
So this was
I don't think I was watching basketball then.
You weren't. Yeah, you were still probably 96.
I'm-
You weren't even in middle school then. Were
No,
you?
I was probably like 7 or 8. 87. I do the math right.
Good God. No. All right, let's talk about you. Enough of the brother and sport, or
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a little preview. So growing up, of course, I'm the youngest of 2 brothers. My mother has 3 kids. And I used to always want to follow and do what they did. Because at first, I don't know if I ever went through a girly girl stage with me having 2 brothers. I had to be tough and rough. And what they would do is they would play football and they would play basketball. So I picked up on basketball probably around age 7 or 8. I wanted to be, like them. I wanted to play with them. Only I couldn't play in the games they played in. So I was kind of off to the side dribbling. So that's why I first discovered, the love of basketball. And I continued throughout all the way until college. I decided to go a different route. There was a broadcasting program at Vincennes at the time, and I wanted to take it. They had hands-on video editing. We got to make our own music video, just everything I wanted to do in media. They had labs for it. So I got into that program. I came back an extra year, a third year to finish up. And after that, I moved to Boston. That's where my brother was playing at the time. And I worked at Channel...
Intentionally? Because he was there? Did you move there because he was there?
Yes.
Okay,
I told him
okay.
I didn't want to come back to Louisville. I'm like, hey, I want to see how life is in Boston. So I went up there. And my oldest brother was living there, too. So it was
and Rajan?
Yes.
Okay.
And my oldest brother, my Rajan and my oldest brother have their own little bond, too. But he was there, too. And he's 6 years older than me, 5 years older than Rajan.
Yeah.
And... there, I found the passion I got a job at Channel 7, which was right downtown, not far from TD Garden. I worked there about 2 years.
That's a prominent station there.
Oh, it is, like real big.
Yeah.
And that's when I made a reel. I was production assistant. And things didn't really work out the way I planned. I was maybe 21 years old. I wasn't taking anything serious. Just graduated from Vincennes with associates, and everybody kept telling me, go back to school to get my bachelor's. So long story short, I eventually ended up coming back, and I graduated from the University of University of Louisville. I don't know where I got Kentucky. See, we're talking about Kentucky. I went to U of L. That's crazy. And in between this process, I had my son. I have a 7-year-old son. And I went back and finished up in communications. I graduated in 2016, the spring of 2016. And then that's when I got on at iHeart, before the fall, September. And ever since then, I've been in promotions. I do some on air. I do some board ops and tech. So, I still have that. It's crazy. Years later, because I was 21 at the time when I first started out, I still, love the passion of media. And I didn't know, at first, I thought I wanted to do TV. I thought I wanted to be in front of the cameras. But I'm like, no, once I discovered working at iHeart, radio is like so much more calm. It's me. It's more me, like calm, chill, laid back. I can be my own personality. I'm not reading off a script. I don't sound programmed, but it's everything I love, and I'm glad like everything happened the way it did, because I love what I do with iHeart. So.
And that's how long you've been doing that now?
4 years
4
now.
Years. And this is all here.
Yes.
Where's the iHeart location? Downtown? Or?
No. Oh, it's out. Bishop Lane, off Newburgh Road. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I enjoy my coworkers. Everyone there pretty much on there is very welcoming and helping with me. I'm on Real 93.1 on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
That is you.
So right now I'm working towards trying to get more hours, of course, because that when they start you out, they test you, and see like, oh, if she does good with this, then we'll give her more hours. So that's what they plan on doing, giving me more hours on Sunday, and then eventually I'll do the weekend, and then you move to middays. It's a process. Right, yeah. So it's been a great journey, and I'm just enjoying the journey and not worrying about, because sometimes it gets to me like, I'm not doing what but I really am. It just takes time. That's all, and I'm noticing that.
So you enjoy the media?
Yes.
What's the favorite part of it, though?
The favorite part is meeting new people. I also like to travel, meeting new people from different backgrounds, from different cultures. I've noticed that. That's what happened when I was in Boston. I met a lot of interesting people there, from different...
Let me say hello.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Oh, no problem. I'm Dymon.
Chase.
Nice
He's
to
the
meet
musician playing tonight. So,
okay.
How are you, bro? We'll talk. I'll be here a little bit.
Oh, okay. I forgot. What was I saying?
We were talking
media.
Yeah.
Okay, what I like. Okay, yeah. I enjoy meeting new people.
There you go.
Of course. And I travel. So this is what I've done thus far this year, just to take you across. I've went to the iHeart in LA. And they're the #1 company, station, everything. Ryan Seacrest does his show there, Big Boy. So I'm able to travel and meet new people. And they always give me an invite back. I'll meet maybe it'll be a promotions or on air, and they'll say, okay, well, you can come back and work an event. And I've done the same thing in New York. I was able to meet, not the Breakfast Club, but I got to go in and get a tour.
Charlamagne,
I thought that was cool.
He is like one of my favorite. I love that whole. I listen. I get their podcast. I listen to him.
Yes,
he is
real.
I mean, they're right now. When it comes to podcasting, we actually that's how we first connected. We
I asked you questions
about podcasting, and podcasting is very important to me. Obviously, I'm doing one, but Joe Rogan podcast, Breakfast
Yes.
Club podcast, two of my favorites. Charlamagne the God.
iHeartRadio's #1 in podcasts.
They
too, by
are,
the way.
and I love it.
It's a free iHeartRadio app.
It is,
Let me promote it.
and you know, mine for what it's worth is there. If you can, you know, go on to iHeart, I am there. But yeah, it's the media. Everything now
So digital, right?
It is so digital
and easy access, which
very
is good, too.
easy. There is something out there for everybody. And with the way things are today, it's I don't even listen to like terrestrial radio anymore. You know, the local channels, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I don't listen. But I don't subscribe to like Sirius or anything. But I'm all into podcasts. But also, I can go to iHeart if I want to listen to music, and I want to alternative or pop. You know, click.
Yeah, whatever you
exactly.
What genre, station,
It
city?
is, you know, back in the day, because I'm gonna tell my age. I'm 52, so you know, back in the day, you know, it was the radio. So now
Yeah.
it's like anymore. You actually are able to
Take the radio with you.
right
Pretty much on
Yeah.
your phone. Phones, like technology is just something crazy.
You know, I heard something cool not too long ago. Elon Musk, you know, Elon Musk, the you know.
No, I'm not gonna play it off. I don't.
You don't? Elon Musk, what? Look him up. He's a guy that's part of this whole space thing. He's gonna be putting Tesla. He's with the whole Tesla car thing. And,
Okay.
But we were talking about, you know, he was on a podcast and he was talking about, you know, how in this day and age right now, we're all kind of like cyborgs. Hear me out. And I was like, when I first started, like, what? We're not cyborgs, we're humans. But our phones, we're cyborgs with a phone in our pocket, because our phones, which I'm using to record this, and you've got yours right there, we can, at this point, what can we not do with our phones? We're literally do any and everything. We can
Pay your bills.
pay your bills. You know, you're obviously talking to people. You can Alexa, you know, ask a question and you get
Siri.
the answer.
Yeah.
That's the cyborg thing, is that everything is just in a split second away. You have an answer to everything, and that's 2019.
Yeah.
You know, in 2010 years, where the hell we're going to be? I mean, we're going to be.
I know.
We're going to be like the Jetsons, and you know, do you remember the Jetsons?
I do. I do remember that show.
Okay, you remember that. I'm kind of bringing this back to the whole media. The podcasting is the way. I mean, it's just, and I'm doing my thing to. Here we are. You and I have not met prior to this.
Yeah.
I knew of you. Actually, I knew of you because of Kendrick, but as we're friends on Facebook, I'm seeing you're part of the iHeartRadio, which is a very fucking important thing in my life these days. I gravitate to iHeart to listen to podcasts, to listen to music at my house on my TV when I grab my Fire Stick or Amazon Fire Stick.
Okay.
So that app is on my TV. So when I want to listen to music, iHeart. If I want to listen to podcasts, iHeart on my TV, and I'm doing chore or, you know, domestic stuff. It's game-changing stuff, and what's cool is that you're a part of that, and that's just who we are right now.
Yeah, like just to piggyback off what you were saying, when I'm at home, like I said, that just shows how much you're passionate and love what you do, because you like to hear other people. And I'm the same way with radio, and I have to be that way with. So right now I'm getting my air checks together. So I listen to different radio personalities. Air check.
What's that?
And what that is it's me. It's Dime C on Real 93.1. The home, one of those, with the music in the background.
What's your name?
Dime C
I
on
hear
Real
you.
93.1. So it's like, just a snippet of me and me going into the music. We got A$AP Rocky on the way. So it's that type of thing. And I send that to different people to listen to give me their feedback. Not everybody can hear, everybody's minds and perception is different. And I like that. And what I do when I go home, I listen to Nashville station. I listen to LA. These are like the top 3. And then I'll listen to Miami because these are 3 different cultural, and New York too sometimes, to see what type of music they play.
Because
who they have on air.
They're ahead of the game.
Yes,
for us.
yes.
We're always, I love Louisville.
Yeah.
And we were talking just the podcast I did earlier. Food, drink, we're top of our game in the world. Culinary shit here. But music-wise, stuff like that, we're reactionary. We're not at we're not at the top game. We know this.
Yeah.
L.A., Miami,
Yes.
they get it first, and then eventually we get it.
Yep. So yeah, like you said, I like to stay ahead of the game. I'm like, oh, what they're listening to, and then like you were saying, I hear a song that I've never heard on Louisville station. I'm like, who is this? And I have to look at the name like, oh, okay. So yeah, that's how I stay on top and I feel like, they're where they are because they're considered the best, the elite. So right. I'm listening real closely to how they go in and out of breaks, how they introduce and their personalities. I'm not going to sound like anybody but me, but I just take little things that they do differently and I'm saying, okay, I'm incorporate that into my show.
Same. Joe Rogan. You familiar with Joe Rogan?
Yes, I've heard of him.
Well, yeah,
he's got an award, right, for podcasts.
He's arguably the top podcaster. He makes
I hear about him a
shitload
lot.
of money. Podcasting. I actually saw for each episode he does it. He typically does 3 a week. I'm hearing he makes anywhere from 20 to 50 grand a podcast.
Wow.
And he does his live.
Okay.
On YouTube. So it's streaming live on YouTube, and then the audio hits all the various. But his podcast literally gets millions of views, and all that monetization there. So it's crazy, and So if you watch Joe Rogan's podcast, I kind of rip off a little bit of the look. But, hey, it's a proven commodity.
Yeah, so. And I'm wondering, so what he talks about just everything? Like it's conversational?
It's conversational, right.
I have to take a listen.
Yeah, you do. Check it out. And he has everybody. Charlamagne the God was on there not too long ago. And that might have been the most funniest because those guys, he was with, who was he with? Yeah. Charlamagne was with, he does another podcast with a comedian.
Charlamagne?
Yeah. Yeah, well, once you Google the podcast go to YouTube, look up Rogan, Charlamagne podcast, and you'll see, I want to say it's Andrew somebody, that he does that Charlamagne and Andrew does a separate podcast, not the Breakfast Club, it's totally separate. But that podcast was like 3 hours of just 3 guys fucking hanging out and laughing and talking about
just everything.
Everything. And millions of people listen to that. And here's the thing. I didn't go to school for, business. I was business administration. So what I'm doing right now, no, it was a hobby. I started this probably 6 years ago, just doing podcasting audio only, talking sports.
But it's what you love.
I love talking. I'm a guy that feels like I know a little bit about a lot of things. So what I want to do is when I identify one of those little things that I want to know more, just reach out to someone and come on and enlighten me. Let's chat it up. So I'm trying to do my thing to hijack part of Louisville. Louisville's big enough where we all can. You can do your thing where I do my thing.
Yes, and everyone can be successful.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we take care of each other.
Exactly.
And that's why you're here. And and once you become, I want to come on and be part of your.
Sure. Yeah. Once I get my podcast kicked out, exactly. That's what I'm going to do. Reach back. I mean, that's what it's all about. Like, someone helped me out. Of course, you helping me by putting me on your show. Of course, I'll have you on. Of course, that's how it's supposed to be.
Thanks, Kendrick, for making this happen. When it comes to things that are trending, I'm not really talking about Kanye and Kim. Just saying. But big. I mean, what out there has gotten your attention? Like either just
Trending.
news wise, because let's talk. Let's stay with sports real quick. What's your take on? Rajon was part of this big deal with the Lakers. The NBA. What's your take on the NBA when it comes to the salaries and all these max contracts? And you got guys that are fucking making bank. I mean, and granted, I get it. They're making money. They're making the money because the money is there because of TV
Right.
and all this stuff. Is it getting out of control? I mean,
I don't think so because for one, I feel like baseball is the highest. They have no cap space, right? So I feel like nobody makes more than a baseball player. But
whoa, Dymon.
at
The fact that you knew baseball didn't. You know what? You just
But at the same time, I mean, it's like, put it like this. I feel like if the owners feel that this in particular player is worth X amount of money, so be it. And if he's got it to spend it, I mean, why not? Now, I kind of think, I'm not going to say shady, the rookies, they have to prove themselves. But the guys who've been in the league and who have proven that they can carry a team to do X, Y, and Z in the playoffs, go ahead. I mean, as long as they play up to that potential, that's fine. Now, I feel like there have been some in the past people who got that money and kind of like set back, and you can tell.
Well, that's my next question. How much, and I saw this somewhere on either on Bleacher Report or one of those sites where they were saying the story is that because of how crazy the money is right now, and it's crazy for us common folk. The money is crazy to the point where titles and
that's what people want now. Championships fast.
You say that,
Yeah.
but the article was going on that that it's not as important because the money is just there. They're ready to go to the money, get their money, which respect. I mean, if the money's there, go get it. The money is more important than a title, that part.
Okay.
So that's where the report was, or the article on Bleacher Report. I mean, can you?
But like I was saying, you've had some NBA players out here who have gotten paid max deals, and it's like they kind of like kick back, like you could tell they're not in the gym, they're not working on their game like they're supposed. I mean, this is your job. Like, you get to play basketball for a living. And yeah, I'm gonna call one player out. Amari Stoudemire got paid. What was it? $100 million. New York. What happened that year and the year after that? I mean, I don't feel like I think he just got the money and just said, okay, I'm just.
Someone like him. Using him, that's a great example. Using him, how much potentially did he get in the a signing bonus, or the fact was it did he get a shitload of money at the time he signed? Or was it part of the whole duration of the contract?
I don't remember. I just know he got $100 million, and he didn't play be $100 million, and that's not right at all. So yeah, I don't agree with giving something that crazy and then they don't even play to the potential. Like, it should be something where they can take it back. But and you would think that would make a person want to play. Like, oh, I'm gonna really go out here and show them. But yeah, some people just kind of take it and kick back. So. I mean, it's wins and losses with that. So, and the owners that they're coming up with the prices, them and whoever else they're discussing, the president. So, that's
here's the
them.
thing, with using Stoudemire as an example. How many playoff games has he actually played?
Right.
I think with him, the elite teams, the teams that get into the playoffs, probably have an idea that he's not playoff caliber. He's not who we want to.
Yeah, and that's just the risk that certain. I'm not saying certain players shouldn't get or they're not worthy, but I would just say if you're gonna give them that amount, they have to bust it out there. They have to show.
But here's the thing, though, where I'm going with this is that amount that's a max contract for players after a certain amount of years in the league
Right.
that they're just eligible to make. Whether that they can make that a contract. Correct me if I'm wrong. They can make that contract whether they play on the weakest team or the best team. Right.
Right.
So to them, it's like, let me just get my contract. Give me that max contract. I'll play for the 30th best team in the league, and and I'm getting mine.
Yeah, that's how some of them look at it.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Thanks.
each his own.
What else? It's non-sports. Let's stop talking sports. What are you gravitating to these days?
What I gravitate to, what I enjoy doing when I'm not at work, is, of course, spending time with my son. But I really take pride in traveling. I enjoy traveling because that's also with, meeting new people. I have a friend that lives in New York.
Traveling work-wise or pleasure?
Both, I would say,
right.
because I've went to, over the years, me being in the media, I went to, it's called NABJ, and this is the National Association of Black Journalists. I've been to 3. There was one in Boston, there was one in Philly, and I believe there was one in, Boston, Philly, Detroit. So the last one I went to was Boston. So I enjoy meeting just all type of new people in the media. A lot of the people that I met there were producers, on air, executives, people that worked for ESPN. So I just enjoy just going out, meeting new people. Some people you tend to stick around and that you can network with further-wise, like it's a guy. Some people that I actually mentor me. Mark Spears, I don't know if you ever heard of him.
ESPN guy, right?
Yes. He still mentors me. He invites me. He'll tell me, it's that time again, encouraging me to come back. So he's been mentoring me since from when I moved to Boston. And that was 2011, once I moved back from Boston to here. But yeah, I enjoy traveling, meeting new people. I enjoy hanging out with my son, taking him. We just went to Disney World last year for Christmas. This year, I want to take him on the Disney cruise. So, I enjoy just traveling the world because it's something as a child I didn't really get to do. We didn't take a whole lot of trips. We may have drove to Atlanta, St. Louis, but now I just feel that I'm fortunate enough.
You're fortunate, right?
To try, right. Yes, to just travel the world. Don't
go to Dominican Republic.
Oh, right? No, that's not on the list.
Good God. We're digressing, but the notion that people are dropping.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like almost like you would think it's either in the water. I read an article that
it's on purpose.
That too, yeah. They know when you come from out of the country, people
right.
sometimes assume like, oh, they've got money, more money than they think you've actually got. And I think that's just what it is. These people who come from these poverty and poor conditions, they're that desperate where it's like, okay, I'll take you out and take what you got too. Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's something sketchy about the Dominican Republic that I will not be traveling there anytime soon.
I'm going to go a little political on you.
Okay.
What's your take on the current administration? Fan? Foe? What?
From what I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been reading up on it, but I've been hearing things like the last debate seemed like there was a bunch of kids arguing. Like that's how they were acting, some of the Democrats. Yeah. And I'm just gonna say this.
You do lean that way.
Not really. I'm going to say I'm more of an independent, to be honest, because
Gotcha.
As I've grown and as I've read and
Kamala
listened,
Harris, though, stole the show, from what I heard.
Okay, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a big fan of anybody.
Okay.
I'm just more of just trying to be aware of what's going on, because I feel like at the end of the day, there's always, you have people. How long have people believed in politicians to do things maybe for them? I mean, it's been decades, and I just feel like if I haven't, tell my age, I'm 32 years old, and as long as I've been living, I have not known any politician to really help out. Because you've got, I look at it like this too. I feel like you got the rich and the poor. There is no middle class. Who's the middle class? At the end of the day, I just feel like from what I see and what I've witnessed as a child, politics is all about money and power. And a lot of those people, what they're willing to do in order to get that power it's kind of nasty. And this is just from what I see on the outside looking in, and I do my research. On the Ben Carsons and the what was his name, Clarence Thomas, and I know a little bit of my history, and it just seems as if there's a lot going on behind closed doors that politicians are not honest with the people, that's who they're supposed to be working for. They're not as honest as they say with the people. So
I'm with you, totally with you.
I'm definitely say I'm an independent at this point.
What's been your take with the Trump administration?
I don't even know what to say, because the minute he got in office, the things
that was a shit show
that he would say, and then from the media to the fake news, I don't even know what to think of it. I'm just really ready for him to get out of office. I'm ready for a new election.
Here's the thing: this coming election, 2020, if he loses,
wow.
If
I'm thinking if.
I know. I would like
depressing.
I would like to say when, but the truth is, I'm not so sure when. I mean, if he loses, I think we're going to have an issue with the fact that he's going to play he got, there's some conspiracy, there's cheating, there's fraud, and he's not going to want to leave. We're in the middle of a shit show in Washington and the world. And here's the thing I was talking earlier to one of my podcast guests is it's during this administration what really has enlightened me / broken my heart with this country of ours is how fucking racist this country is.
It still is, right? Like, it didn't go anywhere.
Well, you're right. It didn't. But it didn't go anywhere. But it just laid low.
Yeah, it was
during
hidden.
Obama years.
Yes, it was very hidden.
Because most of those white people didn't have the balls to come up. But anyway, with Trump, a lot of these people have this power. They feel enabled to come and, speak their mind. But we really are racist. I mean, it's sad.
And it's just sick. What goes on in the news as far as certain people calling the police on blacks, just stupid stuff. That's unnecessary. And I think there should be some type of penalty when that happens.
Well, I mean, I think honestly, if you call the police, it's like this. If you call for, to me, it's a fraudulent call. So if you make a bogus call, which if you make a call and it turns out to be bogus, you should get fined or something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Just unfortunately, and I actually had this conversation with someone the other day who's a Trump supporter, and I said, you do realize that every racist fucking in the U.S. voted for Trump. And they were immediately like, I'm not racist.
Even the stupid ones.
Well, they were like, I'm not racist. I said, that's not what I said. I said, every racist voted for Trump, but not every Trump supporter is racist.
Right.
But again,
they're probably
I'll stand by the fact that, with Trump, white is right, and black and every other color is whacked. And what's kind of crazy, in about 10, 20, 30 years down the road, we'll look back at this little time frame and realize, one, the shit show that it is. But then we'll look in some kind of way, I think we'll look back and see that it was an important time within the U.S. to point out the fact that we've got serious issues with this country, and it just has come to light. Yeah, I'm bringing it up. Yeah. You need something?
I'm okay.
All right. And it's depressing because, I'm not the biggest religious person. I use common sense. At the end of the day, common sense and respect and please and thank you still go a long way.
Right. You're so right.
Just take care of your fellow brother, sister. And what's I had this I shouldn't probably say this, but I'm gonna bring it up. I had this conversation with someone who was a Trump supporter, and I'm always in podcast mode when I talk to people.
Okay.
And I use this scenario. Thanks, Jeremy. I use this scenario. I'm like, this person's hardcore Trump supporter, MAGA, that bullshit. If a black person, Mexican, Asian, were drowning, how quick would you go to save them? The fucking person hesitated for a split second.
Wow.
And I'm like, stop. Don't fucking answer the question now, because you just answered it because of the fact that you looked at me for a second and couldn't answer that question. Fuck you. It's you know, I'm sorry for the language, but no, and that's sad that we're in that. That's who we are. That's what the country is right now.
That too, and also back to when we talk about voting, elections coming up, voter suppression still exists, and a lot of people are not aware of it. I just became aware maybe a few years back, and I didn't know a such thing existed. There's always been rules and laws set up to keep, I'm gonna say, the black and brown people from voting, whether it be shutting down certain polls, like in Atlanta. I read certain articles around the time when Trump was elected, and it's true. Certain polls were only limited maybe 2 or 3 ballots, and you had hundreds of people waiting outside, right, to the point where they said it was old people. And I didn't know that existed. I forget the young lady's name in Atlanta who was running against, but that stuff like that does exist. Change of address. I know Jamil Hill had a problem. She wrote an article about it where she was registered in Florida, and they took her off because they claimed she moved, and she said no, she's never moved. She's always had it. Like, that's her go-to. So yeah, it's crazy.
She's a fucking celebrity.
Exactly.
You would know.
Yeah, and it's like she's a target too, especially after she spoke out against Trump. Oh yeah, she was definitely on the list. So it's like, it's
my
crazy.
Girl. I'm a fan of her.
Yeah, but it's still crazy, like what happens still today with people cheating, and that's another thing that just, it's like, I say to myself, wow, people complain when they say people don't get out and vote, and it's like, at the end of the day, there's always something.
But in fairness, they don't. There's still
that's what I'm saying. It's still
a lot of people that
unfair.
do not vote, though, Dymon. I mean, but
how do we know their vote even counts when you still have
and that's
those type of issues?
That's a fair. Yeah. But I'm going by polls. At that point where who voted and who didn't, and we do have unfortunately a lot of people that, for whatever reason, whether it's inconvenience or they don't have the means to get to vote, but then a lot of people actually think that their vote
doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count or doesn't matter.
And here in Kentucky too, I heard that a lot, because this is a red state. So people are like, well, why even the same people keep winning? And I mean, it's true. Mitch McConnell, OMG. When is he going to retire? I'm sick of seeing him. He doesn't even look like he's stable enough to listen in on whatever.
The fact that these people still maintain office, there's so much bitching and complaining about these people, but we don't do our part to make the change. So some of that, I think, is on us. When I say us, as a whole, that don't do their part to vote, or
That too, and then I think another part of it is, I don't honestly think I trust everybody at the voting polls, like the people who are assigned to. I mean, I'm just saying, like I said, this is Kentucky, so hey, by any means, and I just know, it's two-sided. So I mean, either way, I just honestly sometimes feel like, I wonder what they really do. Can they take it and put what they want, circle in? I don't know. But
it's scary to think that that it's not 100% foolproof. That you don't know, that there is that, I don't know if it's the right word, conspiracy that I do think when it comes to power in this country, there's a handful of people that actually do control it.
Yeah.
They dictate who's you know, I'm not a fan of Trump. I wasn't a fan of him before. I mean, before he decided to go get into politics. He's fucking disgusting. That hairdo of his. I mean, but anyways, in some crazy way, down the road, I'll look back at this Trump moment and think I might be able to say that there was some good in it. Good only listen, only because it brought out some realities that a lot of people did not want to believe existed. I mean,
It exposed the racists
exactly.
pretty much.
And no, I want us to all get along, but at the same time too, I'm like, it's a moment in time that we'll look back and say, this.
We survived somewhat because
There you go.
I mean, at this point,
that will be a good way to look at it, because I do think it is all the shit that we're dealing with now. I mean, you have the far right, you have neo-Nazis, white power, I mean everything, just feeling empowered right now. The truth is, those people were there for 8 years during the Obama administration. They just laid low.
Yeah.
And that's scary and sad at the same time too, that it's always been there. I mean, it's pretty sickening. But,
It is, but I'm glad, like you were saying, that they did get exposed, because they could have just been
exposed.
Yeah, they just could have stayed silent. So I'm glad with Trump coming out, he exposed a lot of these people, and a lot of these people thought they were bold enough to come out and thought they weren't going to lose their jobs, and they did. So, hey,
it has exposed a very ugly side of America that I would hope that the people who oppose that side, me, you, will do our part to make sure those fuckers get pushed back down. But more importantly, the people who are just down in the middle realize that's not good for us. And then the middle people, do the right thing and vote accordingly. So,
yeah. Do you watch The View?
I do.
I haven't been able to watch it here lately, but I love watching Whoopi and
Whoopi,
Joy,
even
and
Megan.
Okay, yeah, Megan's cool too. Even though, she's like kind of been. She hasn't had a whole lot to say since Trump has been embarrassing, for the Republicans.
Yeah.
So, and Sammy too. I like Sammy. She's cool. So
I like watching it. Yeah.
I listen to them every now and then just to catch up, but I haven't been able to watch it here lately. But.
No, I can't watch. That is TV, but I actually don't watch it live. I always watch the
recordings.
On YouTube. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so it was what's cool with like a program like that is they do have like Megan's on there, and there's a little bit of diversity. It does lean a little more on the left for the most part, which is for me, I don't care. But,
that's whose opinions you hear more of. Yeah, Megan, she's holding it down for the Republicans, the only one.
Well, in fairness, she'll blast Trump. I mean, she's not a Trump guy or girl. She's not a Trump supporter. She is a conservative.
Okay.
And respect her dad. I mean, I respected her dad. The fact that Trump still has a issue with John McCain, but because of the fact that during the
he was captured.
Well, no, it was when the Obamacare. He wanted to repeal Obamacare, and John McCain was one of the conservatives, Republicans, that said, actually, the infamous thumbs down. Go Google that or YouTube that, and Trump still has an issue with that. And
yeah, and it's like, come on now, you're the president, unfortunately, but you have to have thick skin. You know how bad Obama got harassed and verbally, him and his wife and his children, like they got called all type of names, and you could tell they killed it with kindness. Like, at the end of the day, Trump doesn't know how. He acts like a kid when it comes to this.
Yeah.
Like, it's been worse things said to people, and I feel like Obama got it the worst as far as criticism.
Well, he did. I mean,
Come on
obviously,
now.
a lot of it was color, but I'm gonna call. I love Barack. I'm a Barack fan. He's elegant. He's a beautiful person inside and out. But his thing that I always struggled with is I just didn't feel like he challenged. He gave in too much to accommodate bipartisanship. And if you go back and look, Republicans got their way probably more than they should with him, because he was the consummate do the right thing bipartisan guy. I would love to see him against Trump. Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
You see how he left the White House with that gray hair? He don't want no more of that drama. They stressed him out.
You know, I'm glad in my lifetime that I got to experience a president of color, a president who brought a very integrity, high value class to the White House and represented us. I mean, we're part of that. That's history.
Yeah.
But at the same
Twice,
time, too,
yeah.
twice. And at the same time, too, we're part of history on this dysfunctional White House right now, that he wants to rub shoulders with Putin, North Korea.
Yeah, we don't mess with the
Saudi
Russians.
Arabia, all this.
Wow.
I mean, he literally, the July 4th thing. Granted, he didn't have all these tanks rolling through, but the fact that a sitting president wanted to have a 4th of July event where basically his ego needed to be stroked. He wanted to bring and just do what the other dictators do. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
I mean, that's what I've known that a while back, that he's nowhere near normal. He doesn't have, any type of empathy for people. I feel like he's about self-gain.
Of course. I mean, he's a businessman. He was a businessman way
times.
before,
Yeah.
not just as a cutthroat businessman.
Yeah.
At that. Where him, he didn't, going bankrupt, spending in excess was part of his agenda to, make his buck. And people don't realize this. We are
In debt more than ever because of him.
And then, the Trump supporters, the tax break, blah, blah, blah. He gave the tax breaks to his buddies that he's rubbing shoulders with.
Yeah.
And then, in the hypocrisy is that people used to, media, a lot, the non-Barack Obama supporters would give him shit about his golf outings. In Trump's 3 years now, he's way past the spending on what Barack did his 8 years with golf, and because you go golf, you got to Secret Star, all this shit. But,
So do you think, with that being said, like all this debt, there's gonna be, how like in 2008, like a stock crash or a recession? Like, I was told to prepare, because I have a sister-in-law who just graduated in marketing, like finance, and she told me to be prepared because there's gonna be another crash, pretty much. So people should be saving up their money right now. You think that's true?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. The way everything has been structured with the tax breaks, our spending, the middle class, clearly the lower class is going to get screwed. Here's the thing: that 1%, whenever there's a recession ever, it's still going to look like Bel Air and Hollywood to them. I mean, they're gonna be living La Vida Loca. I mean, it's gonna be the same. It's status quo for them. They're not gonna it's the rest of us is going to just take the hit, and I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and that's sad. That's what I said. When people like him, create that and don't don't care. So that's the messed up part. That's the world.
Where are you at time wise, dear?
Oh, I didn't even look at the time. Oh, we're good.
Are we?
It's 10:24. Yeah, we're good.
All right. We're closing in on about an hour. Okay. What else? What else you got going on?
Well, coming up, we got to get prepared for the fair. iHeartRadio will be at the Kentucky State Fair, and they work us from. Well, wait, we
are in fair mode. Fair is in August, so we're in July, so a month away.
Yes, the Kentucky State Fair. So what we have is shifts now. The promotions. This is all promotions on air. Like everybody, we'll have a booth out there. We'll have chairs. We'll have mics. We'll have games. Of course, everyone loves games. We'll have free swag. So I'm sure everybody get ready to come out for that. But there'll be a morning shift and then a night shift. The morning shift will be from like 8 a.m. when the fair opens until maybe 4:30, and then that's when the afternoon person comes in night. And then they'll finish it out. There will be a free concert every night, which I know that's what people like a lot because, it's very family oriented. Bring the kids. It's outside. It's outdoors. And there's country. We have all of our stations come out. We have 8 different stations. We have our country station. We have
You're clearly going to be part of that, right?
I'm a part of it all. Promotions, we have to promote, all. I mean, hey, all
Give me
of them.
What's your favorite country song? No.
You know what?
Come on, I want to know what.
I can't tell you the name, but I found myself singing songs. Brent Gilbert. No, seriously. I have to go to these concerts, and I'm horrible with names.
Called you out, didn't I?
But you kind of did. But no, I do know the words, and when it comes on, I listen.
Sing it. Give me
Brent Gilbert. See, I can't. This other music is it. I'm not gonna come up with a beat.
Enough.
But okay, our top 40 station, our rock station, hip hop and urban, HAS. Oh, KRD. That's our sports station. It's one more. Okay, did I name 6, 7? Okay, I don't know, but we have 8 different stations, and we'll be out there. It's tons of fun. We give out free tickets too to Mercury Ballroom. Whoever's coming in town for that
time frame. Right.
Yes, but that's about it. And then September. Okay, right after that, there's Wine Over River. That's in October. If you got any of the wine, ladies, men, whoever likes to drink wine, that's a great event where we set up our tents and booths, and everybody goes around. You get your wine glass. I think the price may be $60 to $70, but you get to drink wine all day. The event starts at 2, and I believe it ends at like 4. And you get your cup, and you go around, and you get to taste different
Samples,
wine.
right.
Yes, from all over the region. So
2 hours of sampling wine.
Sounds like
get your
fun.
Buzz on.
Yeah, we've had people have had so much fun.
Are you a wine drinker?
I am. I love red and white. But I love sweet. I don't like the tart.
Same, yeah.
Strong.
I'm a tart. I lean towards a little bit of the sweet.
Okay, yeah.
Almost to the point where it's
Moscato. Any of the Moscatos I love.
grape juice. Church juice.
Barefoot. Yeah, see,
barefoot, yeah.
I'm mellow. I could do a whole
Sweet
bottle.
red.
Sweet red. I don't know. Do you know of it? Wait. What's the name? Am I gonna be able to think of it right now? Riesling. Riesling. Good. I don't know if it's a red. I think it's a white. I'm trying to think of a red wine that I like. Nothing's gonna come to me right now.
Yeah, you mentioned barefoot's good. Any actually.
And then our last event that tops it off is Sister Strut, and this is a breast cancer awareness walk. And we get people to sign up.
Where's the walk
at Shawnee Park. It was. I think we might change the location, so don't quote me. We may change the location. If we do, we'll start handing out flyers. This is August. We'll start handing out flyers in August. We'll hit up certain areas from downtown to out here and pass out flyers. And this is just a breast cancer awareness walk. It's a 3K walk. I think it was $20 to register last year, but the price might be different. But that was a really good event too, because you never realize how many people are affected by people's families that are affected by breast cancer.
There's a lot of people.
Yes.
And with you guys, when it comes to events like that, you've got to do your part to not got to do your part, but the fact that you do your part to participate in events that are helping people, benefiting people.
Yes.
So
and gets everybody together and have a good time. There's
Exactly.
always a DJ to start it off to get people warmed up. DJ Z Nice DJ'd last year, and then there was a Zumba class that we had. So I thought that was interesting to get everybody warmed
Really?
up,
Wow.
and then the race starts.
Do you do Zumba?
I don't. You know what? I did U-Jam today on
Did
the
you?
waterfront. U-Jam,
wow.
that's more of a, I'm not going to say more of a workout, but
It's a little bit of a.
yeah, our instructor today, that's what I'm saying. I'm going by the instructor. Yeah, she was fit and she was working them girls out. Just know that.
Did she get worked out?
A great job.
Did you get
I
the
did-
workout?
No, I did participate. I had to cut my breaks first, and I joined in. It's an hour class from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. I joined in around 6:30ish, and I worked up a little bit of it. So I'm definitely gonna have to shower when I get home. Yeah.
I'm not sensing it, but I'll trust you. Damn, we're an hour into this.
Oh, okay,
Can
yeah.
you
It's
see it?
keeping-
Hour and
I see that.
couple
2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah. What else? What else going on? Anything you want to promote? Shit, you got going on?
My show. Catch me on
Bring
Real
it.
93.1, 10 a.m. to 12 noon
Sunday?
on Sundays.
93.1.
93.1, the home of the Breakfast Club.
Here's the thing. For some reason, that is a program FM station in my car that my kids seem to always program. It's that-
Oh, really? Yeah. See, they like the jams on there. And my guy DJ Louis V, that's my program director.
Who's a DJ Camouflage? You know who that is?
No, what station is he on?
No,
I've never heard of
I
that.
thought he jumped on there. Maybe it's 96.
96.5. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it might have been 96.5.
Okay, never mind.
We had a 4th of July special where we did a bunch of mixes, and he had there was like some of the top DJs on there, and DJ Louis V, he's my boss, and he likes to help promote other local DJs, whether it be Nap, Louisville. He's from South Carolina. He just has a mixture of DJs who'll come and kind of like showcase what they've got, their mixes, and I thought that was neat. So I was able to be not a part of it, but I was able to program it. He showed me how to put it into our logs. We use Next Gen, so that was something new that I got to learn in addition to what I already do, which is pretty much segging up the station.
How I know it, terrestrial radio, FM, AM, FM. How is it still competing with, the whole digital thing? I mean, you got the audience. I mean, you got
Right.
people still that, and I don't know, because the truth is, I always when I want to go listen to music, I don't go to the AM FM. I always go to Apple Music or iHeartRadio. So
Well, I would just say the benefit of it is what I get from it. Because when I go to Indianapolis, if I'm getting there at 6, 7 o'clock, I can find out what's going on. Like that's why I click to the local station.
because you know it in various regions.
Yes,
Gotcha.
and I want to see what they're
And you want to
promoting.
Get the step up.
I want to see what they're promoting.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I want to see what they're promoting and what they have going on. Because a lot of times we're market number 50. A lot of times I think people feel that Louisville's so small.
Wait,
that
but we're that market 50? Really?
Yes, out of all that, and Indiana's 30. So that's what I'm. Yeah.
Indiana is that much
Indianapolis. Yeah, Indianapolis. I don't want to say Indiana because
even Indianapolis, I wouldn't have thought they were that far ahead.
98.3. Yes, and I think it's one
Really?
of those upcoming. I was told there's only 2 hip hop stations in Indianapolis. I did not know that because I'm like, wow, compared to Louisville, we have multiples.
We've got what, 4
Yeah.
or 5?
Yeah, and then there's old school jam. I'm finding out about new stations till this day. I'm like, get out of here. I'm like, this is a Louisville station?
Wow. I would not.
So yeah, and they do. I kind of piggyback on the events they do there because I'm like,
Fair. I got you.
Indianapolis is not
Yeah.
that much bigger than Louisville, and
Okay.
we can pull off the same things they pull off. So yeah, that's what I gravitate to when I go to different cities. I want to see what's going on. I want to see who's on air at the time. I want to see their personality, and a lot of times they promote what they have coming up, which right now is the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las
It is.
Vegas in September. That's what a lot of
That's
the
a big deal.
stations,
It's a
yes,
big deal.
have been promoting.
They've been doing that for
Years.
Yeah.
And I've not made it to one, so that's
Really?
a
Are
destiny.
you going to this one?
You know what? I always have a dilemma. What I wanted to do is 2 things I've been wanting to do.
Because it's like a 2 or 3 day event.
Yeah, it's a weekend event. But my thing is, I got to make a decision. Do I want to go to New York for Fashion Week? I've been saying I need to make it to New York for Fashion Week. I know. That's the diva side of me. Because it's like, I can see iHeart at another event. We have tons of events all year long.
You're going to look amazing before and after New York. Okay?
But the fashion, I love the
enough,
fashion in New York. Yes, that's the feminine side of me. So that's what I have to juggle between. Do I want to go to New York? Because I have a friend there, so that's free. You know, I don't have to get a hotel.
Okay,
yeah, she has a car, so I'm like, that's a cheaper trip versus
fair enough.
Vegas.
Okay.
Woo, yeah.
You know, money does kind of talk.
Yes. So I think I'm going to head to New York this year and then try to squeeze it in the following. But I know iHeart always has a country music festival in Nashville that I'm going to try to make it to. You know, something different because I don't always have to go to the hip-hop events or the biggest ones. I like to see, you know, what the country crowd looks like. Because
do you really?
I learned. No, seriously, I do. I learned from.
A lot of MAGA hats.
I learned that too, but they're so lovable and like a lot of them are down to earth. I haven't met one country singer that was not just like, hey,
There
you know,
are.
their spirit, it's very welcoming. So, and I like that about the country crowd because I was able to go to one concert here at the Yum Center. I forget whose it was. I'm bad with names, but I just like the environment. They have a good time and they party. Okay, the country people party.
Do you like the way the country people dance?
You get a mixture. You get a mixture of things. But they do know how to party.
Being so politically correct
they
here.
They do know how to party.
Come on, be honest. Funny? A little funny? Dymon.
I'm not really. You know what? I'm in my own zone. I'm not going to speak on it.
I just wanted a sound bite. You're not going to work with me. All right, Dymon. Good stuff tonight.
Thanks. I appreciate you having me on the show tonight.
I think I'm going to reach out because you've been a fun conversation. I think you're one of the ones that I can have come on and we can just shoot the shit about anything.
Okay,
so
yeah.
We'll do it again.
Sure, anytime.
Share with people your social media. Where can people connect with you and stalk you and all this
social
good stuff?
Media. Instagram is DymC, and that's spelled DYMC _502. That's Instagram. And then on Twitter, it's DCROND01 on Twitter. So you can find me on Instagram or Twitter.
Your hair is amazing too, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been natural 3 years now, and I love it.
It's very natural.
I love the wash and go. I love the.
Is it really that?
I twist my hair. This is product in it. I twist it and then I take it down, and then it turns into like a curly fro.
My friend, Dymon.
DymC on Real 93.1. Check me out on Sundays, 10 a.m.
She's badass.
to 12 noon.
Thanks for hanging out with me. Good stuff.
No problem.
We'll do it again?
Yes, definitely.